Hey, this is Gene. There's been some new updates when it comes to Anthony and also the Spanish dude. And just I have a quick comments on this because I have stuff I need to do today, but I had to get it out since I'm here. Beth on United Stand read out the statement. I'm not really sure why they're doing that with her, but anyway, she said, "But there must be something here because the Brazilian team took him off the team." She doesn't understand the power of these women's groups and all these men, these simp men, that will listen to whatever a woman says because they don't want to be looked at as sexist. The power is immense, especially in the civilized world. It's not shocking that they suspended him. As I said in my video yesterday, if he was Neymar or somebody that one of their best players, they would not have suspended him. That's my own opinion. But this idea that she just puts it out there and says, there must be something here, that's why they did it. So now does the Brazil FA have more information than Manchester United has? Do they have more information than the cops in Brazil? Now, obviously, the Brazilian FA is probably a very powerful institution in there because this is Brazil and this is what they're known for. You know, their football, their soccer. But this idea that they know more than the rest of us know, that all we know at this point is that we see these claims, which I said yesterday, comes right out of a novel, a soap opera type of novel. I don't believe any of it. Now, there might be some truth that maybe he touched her and it caused some issues, but all the other things, you look at female nature. Of course, this is not all women, but it's a significant amount of women. When things happen to them in a relationship, they use the pregnancy thing. We know now in the United States about 40% of all babies are not the people that actually have it. The man that's on the birth certificate, this is based on studies. Now, it could be less, it could be more, but it's a significant amount that guys are out there that don't even have their own genetic babies with them. And this idea that they won't lie about shit like this is something is part of their playbook. And that was the first thing she said, that was when he was violent with her. Of course, he didn't know that she was pregnant, apparently, to her. And for a year, nothing happened. It's not, it strains credibility in my mind. And I'm not on team men. Okay. If it's something that's clear, if I saw it, I would want him to be underneath the bus. You know what I'm saying? He would be underneath the jail. I don't like men who beat up women. There's a difference of holding a woman and calming her down because she's out of control, and you might end up putting little bruises on her arms, compared to beating the shit out of her, beating her up, not allow her to leave anywhere, even though she had a phone. I talked about that in my other video, and if you want to, I'll just link it below, and you can see what I had to say on that. The other issue now is this crazy-ass woman who clearly enjoyed the celebration now are now looking for legal avenues against him. They want to destroy this man so much. It's just, what do people, I mean, seriously, what is she going to get out of this because she's going to destroy this man? What did he ever do to you other than giving you a peck on your fucking mouth after you guys won the World Cup when he was holding everybody else? And she just, I mean, it's the fact there's not enough men standing up about this. The fact that many of the Spanish players are against him. It's like, how can a man ever report being abused about or anything? Or the society looks at us as just toxic, that clearly all men do this anyway, and other men have to deny it, have to be against it. There was nothing wrong with what he did. The fact that she had no response after, she had no response other than positive things after, and she waited 3 days because somebody came up to her and said, you shouldn't do this. And now she realized that this is because women fucking love attention. This woman had no attention whatsoever. Nobody really cares they won the World Cup. They might for that one day. Now she has this avenue. I said this about Harriet, about Greenwood. She had every opportunity that she could have used that and parlayed that to something else, to be this victim heroine thing, to go out and talk about it and be this thing about how bad footballers are. And I talked to my thing yesterday that footballers are divas and a lot of them are fucking assholes. But this is how they paint all fucking men. And he did nothing wrong. And now they want legal, go against him legally? What? At most, what is it? It's like, I can remember being as a young kid that my aunt that I didn't like, she'd come and she kisses me on the lips. I'm 11 years old. I didn't like it. Should I go now and say it's assault? Again, how in the fucking world can we ever look at women as equals when you do shit like this? And why men get upset when you try to invade our spaces, that you want to be involved in our spaces because somehow we stop that from happening. Why would we not want that to happen? Why do people like Pence says, I don't want to be around other women when I'm out in social areas? Because they know shit happens when women are around. It's part of what your nature is. You want the attention. You want people to see you. This woman had no attention whatsoever. They won the World Cup. They should relevate in that. They should be celebrating that. It's a great accomplishment for Spain. And most people are all about that. This should have been a non-story. The fact that all these people have been resigned and other people have done this stuff, and now FIFA is going to do shit to him when he's done nothing wrong. And I get people on Twitter and people in Facebook and people on Instagram says, well, men like you don't understand how it is for women. What are you? Then what are you? Are you so vulnerable that you can't defend yourself, that you have no response when some guy does this to you, that you just liked it apparently, or you just are such a great actress that you just couldn't realize that you were so abused at that point, and it took you 3 days to figure that out? This like when you have sex with somebody, you wake up the next morning and you didn't really like who it was, or like, Jesus, it makes me look really bad, or had a boyfriend that's coming in over the next day, kind of like with James Winston. And then you want this idea that you don't want accountability for any of this shit. You're holding on to him as well. You're smiling and stuff. He's happy. You're happy. He does something that took about a second, and now you're going to do this shit to him? I just hope his mom continually defends him and has to sit down with this woman and says, for you to get your act together. This is different levels of generational bullshit. This would never be an issue 20, 30 years ago. And it's not because now women are more empowered. This is because they become part of the system that just looks at women as, they're looked at as fucking children. That they believe that everything is against them. Anyway, I got to stop because I got to take a shower and I get out of here. Look, let me know what you think below. Tell me if you think that I'm wrong. Obviously, I don't think there's anything wrong when it comes to my take on Antony. The club should not suspend him because there's nothing going on yet. Let the process play out. They're not the same thing. The club should look at it differently. And the fact, again, this 22-year-old girl talking about, well, so it's the Brazilian FA must know something, that's why they suspended him. How about the fact that maybe in their country they have a lot of feminist groups and stuff like that, have a lot of power, and they don't want this thing, and I don't want the PR to be bad for the club or the FA. Doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. They have every right to go ahead and suspend him for that, and Manchester United has every right to do what they're doing right now, and let the process pay out. Whatever you want to say, the fact that we lost all this money when it comes with the value of the club, the club did exactly right with Mason Greenwood. Guy had been there since he was 7 years old. They did him everything above board. I had no issue with it. Right now, they're doing everything they should do with Antony. He wasn't there as a youth player, but they're doing everything that they should do. We should celebrate that instead of just continually saying, well, these people knew more. They suspended him, so maybe Manchester United should get done. And before I leave, I'm a little bit abrogated, whatever. Well, her bullshit take about Martinez leaving the game against Arsenal. I mean, this is an elite player who knows his body. He felt something. The staff came on. The medical staff came in there. He said what he said to them. They said, okay, this, you need to come off right now. We don't want to abrogate it. I can't say the word anymore. And he got off. And now we're questioning his loyalty or his drive or his integrity. Stop it. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, you guys have a good day. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.